So usually we're fixing fence boards because Hudson and London will often stick their heads through, because you know the grass is always greener on the other side, or at least they seem to think it is. And even though they have hay or grass, they'll stick their heads through, rub their manes underneath the fence boards, and then try to get grass or whatever's on the other side. So this morning we're going around the entire pasture and we're just fixing up a few fences. But actually, this time Hudson and London didn't do this. We think we had a bear or something large was on the property the other night in the storm and took out 4 fence boards.
The boards that were taken out were only on this side along where the river runs. He knocked off a bunch all the way down to the end of the property. So I think it was something big trying to either climb over and then kept going, I don't know, or wind.
And that all these sort of like back end pieces here where we have our posts not cut off yet, these are all kind of temporary because we will be extending our pastures this way in the spring. So these ones aren't concreted in. So if something like a bear happens to go over, they can easily take out these 1x4s because they're just, like I said, temporary. And Hudson and London, they don't really mess with them. They know where their area is and they just stay. So if they ever knock one over, it's just because they have their head through and they're just not really trying to go anywhere. They're just trying to reach anything that they want to eat on the other side. On our to-do list this week, before we get any of the white stuff, which I refuse to say the name of, we want to get this taken down. And we have a really good idea to upcycle this so that all of this aluminum metal kind of roofing and sidewalls don't go to waste because the snow fell from the trees onto the shed, collapsed the shed. So we want to get everything out of it before winter. We're clearly not going to be lawn mowing, and we don't need our sun sails and some other things that are underneath here, which are gardening. So we're gonna get those put away where they need to go and tear this down. And then we're gonna show you what we're gonna do with it, because we think that we can make use of this so that we can put the roofs on the coops. I think it's just a great way to just upcycle it. And then where we live, it's hard to dispose of things anyways. So where would we put this? So we might as well make use of it. And it is good material. There's nothing wrong with it. There might be a few spots that are like more bent and dented that we can kind of flatten out if we need those other pieces. But these full size sidewalls would make great roofing for chicken and turkey coops, I think. So we have one more board down over here. We need to get the gentleman that mills our wood to mill us some more of the boards that we use for fencing. And again, you can see this is just temporary fencing. You can tell it's temporary because we didn't bother to cut the lengths, because this is all going to change. Because all back here we have acreage and we want to make use of it with the horses. We did pick up some new screws because we use a lot of screws in this family. But we're just going to fix up a couple of these boards from the what I'll call Predator. And today's the first day it hasn't been raining, and I don't know how long. We've had about 3 weeks just completely straight of rain and such high winds. We just want to walk around and make sure that there isn't anything around the property that's blown from, you know, adjoining properties or from the back. We just want to make sure we have everything picked up. I mentioned in a video, I think 2 days ago, that we were going to rent a trailer and go get a haul of hay to bring here before we get any of the white stuff. And we actually went to a new place to get hay the other day to get a rat bale. The gentleman that we've ordered all of our hay from for winter for Hudson and London had a certain amount set aside for us for our horses for the whole winter, getting us into the next cutting season. But because we didn't pre-order for what we're gonna have for cattle, basically we're outnumbering how many we said that we were gonna have. And so he asked us to find hay from somewhere else to be able to provide for the cattle, and gave us a name of a gentleman who is so lovely. So we went to pick up a round bale the other day in the back of my pickup, how we always haul our hay. And he actually wrote us this morning, knowing that we were gonna rent a trailer, and said that he could deliver us a few bales today to get us started on stacking up all of our hay. So he's gonna come and see our property today and bring us 3 more rat bales so we can put a few more aside. And then each time when we go to town, we can grab another bale or 2 in the next couple weeks here so that we have some spares here on property, because there's nothing more stressful than not knowing how much hay you have, or if you're gonna have enough, if you get stuck in because of weather. And because we do live far from going, if the roads aren't great and the weather's not perfect, it's really unsafe to haul hay. And so this is going to be so lovely, and how kind of him to say that he would come and bring us a couple bales today on his day off. We are anticipating him showing up at some point today with 3 more rat bales for us. And the rat bales are actually bigger than the ones we've been getting for Hudson and London. And so we're gonna unwrap our first bale from him. We actually haven't even seen the hay. No. But for the cattle, it's totally okay anyways. And we're gonna continue to get the hay that we're getting for Hudson and Lennon from the farmer that we go to, which we absolutely love getting hay from. And Hudson and Lennon love the hay from him. So we have figured all the hay necessities out to be able to welcome these new additions. And we also found out this week that our heifer will be coming the first week of January, weather permitted.
What?
So we're pretty excited. I don't know how we're gonna wait that long for her because we're so excited. And this morning when I first woke up, the first thing I did this morning was went and fed Henry some apples. So I'm just gonna keep being the apple fairy because me and Henry are becoming besties.
What? He's my bestie.
He's my bestie.
Oh.
I was head scratching him and nose scratching him. I give an apple and then I'm like, oh, you're gonna stay there? Okay, I'll do a little touchy and then slip him another apple and keep him there. And I'm just getting him used to the fact that when I touch your nose or I touch you, you know, around your snout here, that like it feels good and you want me to keep doing it because I just want him to associate us with all the good things.
Yeah, and we're not feeding him like too many apples. We're cutting
two a day.
We got great advice that we're cutting the little apples really small so he doesn't choke on them, and it actually goes a longer way when we're trying to show some affection towards them. We have more apples to give them.
Like 2 apples can last us like more than a half an hour of enjoyment of like handing them little pieces. And so if we keep the pieces small, it gives us many more interactions, and also he doesn't choke on it. So I am sinking. Our property, okay, let me show you. You're not even going to believe this.
It's a mud pit.
If you know what rubber boots
I mean,
I should get, please let me know.
Everybody's property kind of looks like this, so I don't feel too bad. And we're in a construction zone. But,
yeah, in the pasture side, we tore up the grass building the barn. So, okay, let me show you the ground. I think all our animals are going to need a bath by the end of this week before the weather gets too cold because it's impossible to keep them clean. Yeah, this is what we're working with. It's so slippery. It isn't even that you sink, because you do, and it's so sloppy, but it's unbelievably slippery. The horses are having so much fun in it. But yeah, we're in a complete mud zone. The pig area is just the same. The pigs are covered in mud. We're basically a whole property of a pig pen at this point. It's so bad. We are working on scooping everything out, any bedding from this week out of the chickens and turkeys, so we can fill in fresh stuff in their nesting boxes and fresh bedding on the ground. As I mentioned before, because it's hard for us to get straw where we are, we will often use hay for bedding, and it works out fine for us. And because we like to keep everything super clean for bedding and everything nice and dry, it's fine because we switch it out often enough. And so we are going to clear out the turkeys today, clear out the chickens today, put fresh bedding in, and then hopefully it'll stop raining for the week and we can get the whole week without having to do it again. But it's been so mucky, and I'm hoping today we can have a little bit of a fire because we have pruned a whole bunch of greenery so that we can clear up some of the spots we're going to put some fencing, and I want to be able to burn some of that today. But I do have an idea for some of it, so I don't want to burn all of it because I'm going to make use not only in the coops for some of it, but also for something for the farm, and so I don't want to burn all of it. I have a little pile over here beside the turkeys, and then I have a bigger pile over by the greenhouse, and so I'll probably just pick and choose for what project I'm going to work on, which type is going to work best. I need to like get a book on what type of trees we have on our woods because I don't know how to identify. Yeah. Is it like an evergreen? Is it a pine tree? Is it a coniferous tree? I don't know even all the names. And so
it's not a maple tree.
I know it's not a maple tree. And actually I wish we had so many more maple trees on our property, but we have just a few, very few. So in the fall here, all of our trees don't really change like they did in Ontario, but when we go for a drive out of property, we do often see all of the beautiful colors, but we see less of those on our property because we don't have the beautiful color changing maple trees. So I think eventually we will maybe add a few maple trees to the property just because it's something that we look forward to every fall, and we only see it when we leave the property. And I don't know about you, but I kind of don't really like to leave my property that much. It's kind of nice over here. So we have some piles going. So I'm hoping if it continues to not rain later this afternoon, I can start working on some of the piles that I have to burn some of this brush that we're not going to be using. So I have a little pile here, and then I have another one over by the greenhouse. All the animals on the homestead got new troughs for winter. So I'm just topping them up for today. And they're in rinse them out. Watch Elena get hay in them every day. We've had them for a couple of days now. All rinsed out. Now I get to fill it up. I love having really nice fresh crops because it means that I can keep them really clean. It was really fun to go and get all new troughs, not only for feed, but water. We got ones for Henry, we got ones for Hudson and Lennon, we got ones for the piggies. I should have gotten a few for the chickens and turkeys as well, but I wanted to make sure we really enjoyed these ones first, and I need smaller versions, obviously, for them. And so this week when we go back to get some more feed, I think I'll get some. I just want to like upgrade everything before winter. I think it's just a really much more convenient way of making sure that everyone has fresh food and fresh water every day. And because we do fill those every day and we don't do like big feeders, we like to make sure that everything can be like cleaned out once a day. I just have an obsession with making sure that all of the water bowls and feed bins are like completely scrubbed out. We don't just like keep reusing them without washing them. And so these ones that we got, they wash out really well. And I think it's going to be a lot easier for us to maintain that over winter. We also went and got a whole great big stockpile of all of our feed bags for everything, enough for us to mostly get through the winter. And then in another week or so, we'll go back and get another great big load, and that will probably get us until April, March or April. It's just so nice to have that feeling of knowing that you have everything that you need here for the animals for the next like 5 or 6 months in terms of feed, because you don't ever want to get stuck in. And so means we're going to have like so much extra for everything. And we're pretty generous with how much we feed them. So we definitely go through a lot more. Are you just relaxing? Just chilling while everyone works. Are you going to come see Mom? Yeah. Like to come see Mom? Come here. Hi, boy. Hi. Hey, baby. You can see he'll come for some nose scratches and some head scratches now a little bit for me. He thought I had an apple. Mom will go cut you another one. I'm going to come in and do your water, clean your bed, top up your hay. He let me comb the top of his forehead with the brush yesterday morning while I was feeding him some apples. I didn't get the top bramble out, but I tried. Mom's going to come in and top up your water in a sec, but the horse trough is taking forever.
It's a big horse trough.
This is a big one. Yeah, these stock tanks are great. They take a long time to fill up, but they hold a lot of water. So Frida, Erickson, and Ragna have figured out a trick. And the trick is that they can get out of our fencing. So when we first put the pigs in this area, this was our chicken area. And so we had what I'll call like a cattle fencing. It's a 2-inch by 4-inch grid on the fencing. I'll show you the fencing. And it worked perfectly fine for the chickens. And it was up there maybe for like about 1.5 years or so. And we started to add all of these barricades around because the pigs kept getting through. And so what happens is they get their noses in the little grid patterns and they can stretch them out because there's no braiding or knotting in the corners like they have on the goat and sheep fencing, which I'll also show you. And so we're figuring out, and we've learned since this is our first time having pigs, that they can get through and they can just keep nosing their way through and spreading out the metal wires of the fencing. And so today we're going to do a little temporary barricade with some wood, keep them in so they can enjoy their day outside on this beautiful day. And then this week, when we finish all the fencing for the cattle, we're going to replace this fencing here in addition to not only using the actual field fencing, which has the braiding, they won't be able to get out through or nose through, but also put the electrical fencing around the lower perimeter in this area to keep them in.
I think it's the only way.
It's literally the only way. So I didn't get a chance to show you, but when my dad was visiting, Philip and the boys were at Nana and Papa's, and apparently the pigs felt left out, that they didn't get a chance to go because they broke out of their fencing and they were running down the highway towards Philip's mom and dad's place. Oh my word. So I got a call from the neighbor saying, excuse me, but I think your pigs might be running up and down the highway. And since I'm the only one that has pigs right here, obviously they knew that they were ours. And so I went barreling down the road in my bare feet, you know, going to go rally the pigs, and they were the cutest little muffins ever. You guys are so naughty. Come on, follow mama. Come on, let's go get some grains. Come on, Erickson. Come on. Good job. You guys followed me right home. They were so excited to head back home, but I don't know where they thought they were going other than to go visit Nana and Papa. I think they heard banana muffins were cooking or something, and the boys were going there to pick up muffins, and they thought they would take off. So we don't want that to happen again. It's the only time they've ever done it, and we're like, nope, that can't happen. We need to add some extra security. So I think between the cattle, like field fencing, and also the electric fencing, it's going to keep them in. But today we want them to enjoy outside, as they're going to come and play in the mud all day today. So we're going to barrier the bottom with some of our scrap wood we have from building the cattle barn. Get these babies outside. I can do their coop area or their little pen area, and then tonight they'll have a nice fresh spot and they'll be tired from being outside all day. So Saturday, if the weather's nice, we're going to do all of the fencing, because not only does this look terrible, but it's not going to function for very much longer. And before the snow flies, we need to make sure we get this done. So look at what we've resorted to. Sometimes you got to use what you have on hand so you can keep them in when they try to escape. Okay, I forgot that I was filling the water trough, walked away to clean the pig area. So now we're extra full. Wood barrier is up. This is literally what you call a pig pen. Hi, Erickson. They're soaking wet, covered in mud. Look at the ground. Hi. You're a muddy boy. What are you guys waiting for? Come on out. I know, I wouldn't want to walk in it either. Come on, Frida. Come on, Ragna. Come on. Come out and play. Come on. You rodeoing in it. Come on. It's a fun muddy day. I don't know what color you were supposed to be, but look at how big they've gotten. The three of them used to fit all side by each into the doorway. Now the three of them try to get in at the same time and they can't fit.
Honey, where'd you get these marshmallows? Costco?
What'd you say, Day? Marshmallows look tasty. The marshmallows look tasty?
I'm afraid to see what the hot chocolate looks like.
Like a massive cup the size of a house. This is the first time we've had marshmallows on the farm. This is amazing. Who knew you could farm marshmallows?
We just had the best time with a new to us farmer, and he was amazing. He brought all these bales for us. He didn't have to. And they're sweet.
They're so much bigger than the bales we've been getting. We get really, really good quality hay for Hudson and Lennon. The bales are a little bit smaller, and we've been able to manage them in my pickup, which is amazing. These are so much heavier. The two of us trying to roll these out of the trailer. It was kind of comical. Like,
this is a few hundred pounds. Sure.
A few hundred pounds more than the other ones. Is this where I start to sing All I Want for Christmas is the Farm Tractor?
3, 2, 1. There we go. Now we roll.
Oh, then we're gonna roll. Wait. My boots are sliding. I need some traction. Okay. Or she stays right there.
We can do it.
Almost got a leg under it. Oh my word. Almost.
Oh, we just need a big cup of hot chocolate. Just a smidge. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, okay. Now roll.
How far are we rolling it? Tell me where. We're getting it. We are no longer touching the building. Where do we want to put one more right here? It got wet. I was on a roll, literally. If they get wet, so then your hands just slide. I feel like there's someone on the other side pushing it as hard as they can this way. Woohoo. Okay, then we just gotta shimmy it this way to get it off this one. And then what if we pivot that way? Will we be too close?
I just say put it down here and we'll open this one.
So this way we'll have some more that will come that will be wrapped that we can put over here or over on the other side of the chicken coop. And then if we get any that are not wrapped, which I know we will be getting for the horses as well, they're gonna go in the garage. So we don't want to put a tarp on this because water will go through the tarp. So we have this patio furniture cover and no water goes through it at all. So it's been really good for us to be able to have a spot to be able to cover the hay and then make use of that bale for the week. So we get through a bale in a week, no problem. And so we just need to make sure that it's covered while we're using it. At least in the meantime, till we get everything moved from the garage here, and then we can finish opening our next bales when we're kind of like in the garage space. But for winter, this is going to be the best solution for us for now. When our barn is done, we'll be able to build ourselves some structure to be able to keep our hay dry underneath. And that's going to be really useful. But for now, it's about convenience, accessibility for winter. Not far from any of the barns we have to give hay to. Not far from us from the house to go get it. If we happen to get those really deep snows that we had last year where you literally saw me jumping into 5.5 feet of snow that was at the side of the house there. And so if we have to shovel our way to get to animals, we want to make sure we can access all of the feed for them as easily as possible, which is why we like to keep everything close to the house. All right, we're gonna decobweb, clean the window. Not too many actually, considering I've been decobwebbed for most of the summer. I don't think the chickens care about spider webs, but I need a please don't poop on the window sign.
That's cute.
No pooping on the window. Okay, we've decobwebbed. We have Windexed. I need to fill the coop back up with stuff. Oh, I need to dust one more thing off. I need to make sure my light bulb is clear, because we're gonna need that soon for heat. Okay, I've Windexed the windows. I scrubbed the inside light. We have decobwebbed, and now we need to add all of our bedding back in. Hey! All right, and I would like to put some greenery on top of their nesting boxes, and I'm going to hang some by their roost. I didn't leave myself very much room today. So we don't do a deep bedding method over winter. We just make sure their coop is dry and clean, because we do provide them with a heat source on the really cold nights. Some days in Nova Scotia, it's pretty mild in the day, and then the night doesn't get that cold. And then another night it might be like minus 43. So we don't run the power in there consistently, but we do definitely need it on the nights where we know it's gonna be minus temps. I mean, it's always kind of like -1, -3 or whatever, right? At night.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, They keep going to the washroom up on top of the nesting box. And who wants to sleep on prickles? But maybe they will anyways, but either way. Let's see what they do. I need more Christmas. I just made the hens a little hideout. They can go behind under the roost and go behind all the pine. It's just like a little hideaway back there for them. And then we have some greenery up here. Nesting boxes are full. I have to fill their water bin now and then get their feeder back in here. Windows clean. We've decobwebbed. Our light fixture has been cleaned so we don't have any dust or anything on there for winter because we do need that sometimes. And then I'm just gonna see what else. I'm gonna put a little feeder, I think, attached to the wall here. In the wintertime, I like to give them some sunflower seeds, the black oiled sunflower seeds, and a few other things to keep their proteins up so that they still have what they need over the winter, but pretty good. And then I also want to paint the door on the inside. So then we have our cute little coop, but the wood's exposed all day. And then I want to finish some garland wreaths to put on the front like I did last year, and probably put some greenery in their little planter boxes here. I think it'll be really cute. And then I'm just about to pack away our rain barrel for winter. Just don't want it to crack since it has more like plastic poles inside. Yeah, did Chase get home from school? Yeah. Yep, Chase has apples.
Henry.
He'll come, he'll go, and it'll just take him a second. Is he having a drink?
Yeah.
Oh. Good job, Henry. Isn't that the best?
Hello.
He's like, if I give you the tongue, will you give me more? Good boy, Henry.
You're so adorable.
He's adorable.
Adorable.
Yeah, is that your boy, Chase? Yeah. Everyone is fun, right, Chase?
Yeah.
Everyone is just as enjoyable as the last. Let him chew for a minute in between. Go a little slower. His tongue's really rough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chase, apples are my currency. Good job, Henry.
One more for you.
I love how he stretches his neck up, hoping that there's more. Like,
You're so cute, Henry.
what's that noise? Hi. Hey, babe. Oh, yes. He's like, do you have more? We've been enjoying all of our amazing moments with Henry. Chase just got home from school and wanted to give Henry some apples before we go in. It's getting dark about 4:45 every night. So in about 15 minutes, it's gonna be pitch black, and it's so hard to get all of the evening chores done in the dark and film what we're doing. But we're gonna try this week to get a little bit of that for you and show you all of the bedtime routine with all of the animals and what we do to close up the farm for the night. But it's so fun. Boys can come home from school, go see all of the animals. I'm just gonna finish up a few more little things in the coop for the chickens and put the bedding in for the turkeys, fill up everyone's feed and water for the night. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow it's not raining again and I can get to some of the forged reeds that I want to do for some of the barn doors and things on the property here. And a few other things we have to get done on the outside. I'm just checking off our to-do list in the next week or so here before we have our season change, which is definitely going to roll in pretty quickly, I would think. And so we're hopefully going to be as prepared as possible this winter. As you can see, we have tons of firewood behind us. We're gearing up to get all the extra feed and everything for the animals and bedding and everything ready so that when it does come in, we are ready. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I love you, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode.